Hey guys, Phantom here and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I used to be Mr. Wig Splitter, but over this last year I moved across the country and so I decided I needed a new makeover. So welcome to Phantom Gaming. I look forward to making videos for you guys here, and today we're going to be talking about kind of the current state of Season 1 and, obviously no noise on Battlefield Season 2, so a little worried about that, but we're going to dive right in, talk about Battlefield Season 1. So off the bat, when the game first came out, man, I honestly, like everyone else was saying, man, Battlefield's back, right? I mean, we had 2042. A lot of people weren't happy about it. I wasn't happy about it. And this game, with the kind of nostalgic effect of Battlefield 3 and 4 and what this game looked like, I mean, it brought a lot of people to the forefront and back to the Battlefield series. And, over time, unfortunately, I feel like this game's starting to get stale. I know a lot of folks that always keep defending the game over and over again, regardless of how bad the state of the game is. I think they're finally starting to turn tail as well, because we're all scared with seeing on the main menu here 2 weeks Season 2. Nothing, with the devs being on holiday. I think a lot of people are a little scared on are we actually going to get Season 2 in 2 weeks, and really what the content we're going to get from Season 2, because I mean, Season 1 has gone by, not a whole lot of content. The Winter Offensive was pretty offensive in regards to just the one map and the shitty game mode of what do they call it, a homeless simulator, with being cold and going to the fire pits. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm a little worried myself too on the state of the game. I mean, I'm still having fun with it. I love Battlefield. I always play Battlefield games, but the current state right now in this game is a little scary, and I'm hoping the near future, with the changes that they come back from holidays, to fix a lot of things like the net code. They obviously did the updates on the sound with the footsteps, which, have been great, but then now it's a little confusing in certain areas. And I think, too, that update has kind of died down a little bit in certain ways, because I used to be able to hear vehicles coming my way all the time, but now there's sometimes vehicles coming around the corner that I didn't even hear coming up at all. So some things are kind of dying down from the update and balancing. And, I think a lot of things, too, that I hear from other content creators is that, I feel like they got to figure it out to who they're going to try to cater to, right? I mean, I feel like a lot lately they've been catering to the casual gamers, which is fine, right? I think it's a good thing. But also I feel like they should listen to some of the people that are, sweaty, right? I mean, I'm a little sweat myself. I'm dripping on the freaking keyboard sometimes, but no, I mean, I think hearing both sides and then kind of going down the middle, because if you cater to one side, it's gonna not do well to the other, and I know, it could be vice versa the other way too, from what I'm saying. But I really think that this game has huge potential. I don't really think this game is dead. The numbers of the people playing is still great, right? I mean, obviously, everyone talks about how down it is from launch, but that's every game, right? I mean, I know Arc Raiders is consistent, but I mean, look who made those games: Battlefield 3 and 4 devs. So, I think this game still has a lot of potential. Again, I think the biggest thing is everyone's a little scared on where we're going to sit for Season 2. We're hoping that we're going to get a bunch of content. I'm hoping we're going to get a bunch of maps. I mean, my idea always is, look, like, bring back 2 maps, old maps, which I know, people say that's lazy, but bring back 2 old maps and then make 2 new. That's 4 maps a season. Then on top of that, I think they should work on some of the current maps. Obviously, the biggest complaints have been New Sobek City with the roof camping. I think they should pretty much change it to kind of like on this Manhattan map here, where if you're on too high on top of one of the roofs, that you time out because you're out of the map. I think that would be a huge fix. That should be an easy fix. And that would stop a lot of complaints from people getting sniped 24/7 on that map. And then on top of that, Blackwell Oil Fields, which is, in my opinion, one of the worst maps ever made. I mean, both HQs, for the most part, the Eastern HQ is primarily the bad one, where you can basically get shot from an RPG taking off from the ground when you're in a jet. And then on top of that, the map is pretty much mainly flat, and so as soon as you take off, an AA is going to be shooting at your aircraft as soon as possible. And so I think they really need to rework it or just totally scrap it, because that map is total shit. But then I think one good map that came out of Season 1 is Eastwood. I mean, I really like the map. I think it's very I mean, people might say it's cluttered, but I love that type of stuff. It keeps you on your toes, especially when you're going through some of the flags like A and B where you need to go through the neighborhoods. I love that shit. But I think the biggest complaint that I've been seeing, especially from my friends that play it, is whenever they join a game mode on that map, it seems to be way glitchier than playing some other matches with other maps. Not sure why that happens, but I think that's something that they'll definitely have to look into for Eastwood. Please let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys run into as well. I never really have the issue. My friends do play on console, so I'm not sure if that's a reason why that they might be glitchy in that map because of console. But please let me know in the comments if you guys run into that as well on Eastwood, because that's something I've been running into with my friends a lot lately. Aside from maps, I think there's a few things on some of the weapons as well. I mean, I think snipers are definitely way too easy. It's definitely beamish. I know a lot of the guns in general are beamish, but sniping in this game is by far the easiest thing, and easiest sniping I've ever ran into. Back in Battlefield 3 and 4, you actually had to, account for some of the bullet drop. In this game, they literally give you an attachment for a rangefinder, so you just hold it down and boom, like easy headshot, right? If you can get the rangefinder to zero in perfectly. Way too easy. I think they need to kind of add some difficulty to that, or just get rid of the rangefinder overall, or maybe use it as kind of the laser designator, right? Maybe put the rangefinder on the ground. They have to put the rangefinder on the ground next to them to make it to work. I know it would be a pain in the ass and be a little bit more milsim-ish, but I think to make things like the sniper a little less easy would make a lot of people more happy. And then on top of that, I mean, I love RPGing helicopters out of the air just like that, but I think it's been a big issue that the velocity on the RPGs is just way too high. I mean, you've seen it in movies, right, where the RPGs are twirling. They're very inaccurate, especially in the movie like Black Hawk Down, for instance. They should not obviously make it that crazy, but, I mean, same with sniper drop, right? They should have it where the RPG drops at a certain range eventually. I know right now it does it in a way, but still the velocity is pretty high where you could still shoot an aircraft pretty far. And I love flying helicopters, but I don't fly as much in this game as I do in previous games due to that, because I'll just get sniped by an RPG from a foot soldier on the ground just like that in a matter of minutes. And so I always joke that the Apache helicopter is kind of a death machine for you to fly, and it's an easy death for you to get during a match. But overall, I think the game is really fun. I think it's a huge improvement from 2042. I think the biggest thing, like I said, is the game is starting to get stale for a lot of people. We're all seeing that it says 2 weeks to season 1 end. I think the biggest worry is that everyone is thinking, okay, why wouldn't we got a season 2 trailer, or at least any snippets? I know there's been a little bit of leaks, and if those leaks are true, it's going to be a little grim considering that they don't really have any updates on any maps, really, just weapons and more launchers, which we definitely don't need. But no, I mean, I really think this game has a lot of potential. I mean, it's a huge improvement from the previous title that we got, and I'm still having a lot of fun. But there's definitely some nights where I'm kind of blankly staring at the screen. Why the hell am I still playing this for 2 more hours, sort of thing. So, but yeah, I think the biggest issue: what, when, where, how, when are we getting season 2? What are we getting? I think that's just the biggest issue right now that I'm a little worried about. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. Hope you liked the content. This year, 2026, my biggest goal is to try to put out more YouTube videos. I try to stream on Twitch every day from 8 to 10. Since I am a father, I have to stream a little later and a little less. And then on the weekends, I typically stream a little longer. And then sometimes it's not every day, right? Sometimes it might be Tuesday, Thursday, and then the whole weekend. But I'll obviously keep you guys updated when I get on. But please like and subscribe if you guys like the videos. If you have any comments for any improvements or topics that we'd like to hear in the next video, please let me know. I would be happy to add that in my future videos, because again, I'm still pretty new to YouTube. Again, it's something where I'm not a biggest fan of editing videos, but I'm finding ways to do it, and that's my biggest goal this year is to give you guys more content here on YouTube. So then, if you like what you see in my combat and kind of my strategies here in these videos of attacking these troops here, you know, I hope eventually one day you guys will join my Twitch, which is twitch.tv dash X Phantom PHV and T0MX. And yeah, please like and subscribe. Join me on Twitch. I stream, like I said, every other day or every day when I can at 8 to 10. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye. Oh my god, dude, I'm fucking. Oh, oh my god. How many have ammo?
My God.
Oh, I got you, Cardi.
That was crazy.
Oh, I see an ammo crate over here. Let's go! Oh fuck, I'm gonna get shot in the back. Oh.
Got him.
Good, thanks for covering me. Alright, I'm refilled. Let's get back out of here. Alright, joining you on the point, Cardi.
There's a guy right.
With you as well.
Fuck, where'd he go?
I don't know. He went the long way. Oh, behind him now.
Oh,
He
He's
got
not that way, Evan.
Oh,
He's on the ground laying down there. He's coming up, he's coming up.
Got him.
Good shit, good shit.